right back on their ass, yo. They done made me mad, I've been keeping calm, constantly keep making cash, yo. I've been getting bag after bag after bag, yo. Presidential shit, I wrap my Maybach mad black, yo.
What's up, YouTube? I'm back. Martyveefx. Woke up a little late into the New York morning session. Just feeling all kinds of fucked up. Got a sore throat, don't even know why. Cause it's hot as hell down here. But someone on Instagram asked me to do a trade breakdown of these NAS setups that I took earlier this Wednesday morning. So here we go. I got into the market. It was in a downtrend, 200 EMA moving nicely, but I seen price pushing above, so I started scrolling to my left, and that's where I decided to just mark this supply, because this is where I left off yesterday on this mean ass supply. Like I said, I like to take supplies. I'm just a bearish motherfucker. So anyway, I drove this supply all the way to the right where we currently are. I'm just gonna watch it and see what it did. Start to reject, still pushing up. I'm expecting it to tap this supply, which it did. So it tapped that supply. So got in, but I also marked the supply underneath it because of the strong rejection. So just want to see if it's gonna pull back. And the reason I marked this supply right here because of all of these gaps. Right, it's just straight. It's just a bullish candle alley, no bearish candles right here. And so in my mind, I want this to pull back, tap, then pretty much do this. Boom, boom, boom. You know, drop, pull back while creating new supply entries until it taps. And this will be my exit because this is a bearish candle right here, which could trigger a new demand zone. So I want to get out of here. That's why I hate drawdown. That's why I couldn't be a swing trader. Fuck that. So that's why I like to take one-to-ones, and when I'm looking at one-to-ones, I'm seeing if there are any indecisive candles that will push me in the opposite direction, thus pushing me into drawdown. Because if I kept going, if I were to hold this possible setup, demand would tap and it'll push back up, and so it's like it's gonna have to hit one of these potential bullish candles to push me back down, but I don't want to lose none of that, so I'm just going to wait to see what happens. Let's push it down. Push it down. Alright, it tapped. It tapped. It's go time. So what I'm going to do is a short tool here, and what I like to do is I'll set a trading view alert right at the break of the candle. That way I can go look at Discord, I can look at news, I can look at other charts, other pairs, while not glued to this one move, because you know how it is. Candles like to start going up and down, consolidating, bullshitting. But anyway, let's see what it does. Alright, that's why I got in there, right there at the break of the candle. Even though I'm questionable about this 200 EMA, so I entered with low risk, and I drug my TP down to here because I was just gonna hold it, even though it would, you know, drop, pull back, create some bullish candles to trigger a supply, and trigger some re-entries, and then just keep zigzagging all the way down. So that was my projection. That's what I was expecting. So let's see what happens. It's dropping. Pull back, and it look good. Let's just start to getting iffy. But it also created a new supply entry right here. This is what I was talking about. It's triggered from this bullish candle. Drop, tap. So that's an entry right there, re-entry. So, and that looked good. And that would have been a good 1-to-1. And I normally take 1-to-1s in case of a pullback. But I wanted to hold this all the way down. It's because this alley of just straight gaps and bullish candles. So let's see if this plays in my favor. That looked good. Back to where it started, but it also created another supply. And we're back down. We're down. Boom. That's what I wanted to get. I wanted to get underneath the 200 EMA. It means I'm following, you know, a downward trend that will, you know, play in my favor for this supply to play out. Just pulling back. So I'm pretty much in consolidation now. The 200 EMA is moving flat, which triggers consolidation. I learned that from Doyle. So shout out to Doyle. Let's see. Still pushing down. It's looking good. Looking good. See, that's a 1-to-1 even back here. But if you held it long, that would have been a good time to get out for a 1-to-1 possibly. Almost 1-to-1. And then did happen. So I got out right here because I didn't have time. Normally, if it hits my stop loss, like halfway through my stop loss, I would cut early. But I didn't have time. It just shot up. It's like shit. So I just got out. I'm like, well, what the hell? You know, it's triggering. There wasn't no news posted. I'm thinking maybe it's about to tap this zone, you know, again, and then shoot down, or push up and grab some liquidity to the upper left. So, but I also saw this potential demand right here. So I'm like, well, maybe if it hits this, you know, pulls back down, tap this demand, and pushes up, and then tap this supply, then we go down to what I want. So it's like, maybe I might get it this time around. But in the meantime, I'm just gonna see if this demand gonna play out. I'm gonna scalp that little shit. You know, I'm a scalper. I'm gonna scalp anything. You know, I'm on a busy street and my TP on the other side of the street, and you got a 6-lane freeway. I'm gonna get that motherfucker. Low risk. I'm gonna get that motherfucker. So, boom. Tapped into my demand. Then it just shot straight up. So when it shot straight up like that, I got in immediately. And pretty much took it. That's my TP right here to get this liquidity right here for this wick. And tapping this supply at the same time. So let's see what happens. Boom. TP instantly. And a strong rejection. So that was a win. So I came off an L, a win. Now let's see what happens. I'm deleting this demand because it already hit this demand. Unless it's, you know, the demand is strong enough to push it back up since it's currently above the 200 EMA. But we're also in a little bit of consolidation. So let's see what happens now that it tapped the supply that I marked up from the get-go. See what happens. Boom, it wicked through. It wicked through. Now, normally, you know, a lot of traders don't take a setup like this when price wicks through, but I do now because there's so many setups that I've seen that wick through that I wanted to take, but I end up sitting on my hands, and then I just watched it just play out, you know, right before my eyes. And so not only that, but it wicked through, then it had a strong rejection back down to the downside. And like I said, I'm watching these gaps. They need to be filled. So what I did, in my setup area, I'm just gonna take a entry if it pushes back down at the break of the candle. So I set my trading view alert right here, bam, and I drug it right here, a little bit over 1-to-1 because I wanted to get this liquidity right here, and I felt like this demand had already been tapped, gave a strong rejection, so it might not come back, but it might blow through that demand to get these gaps filled below. So let's see what happens. Hell yeah. And that's when I got in. That shit surged down. I got in probably in about right here. So I wanted to see if it was gonna fight through this demand, and did it. Boom. It's almost through it. Boom. Took my TP, then I left a runner. Left my runner. Brought my runner to break even, and just let that bitch run. And I won it. This was my exit. This is my TP right here. I use horizontal lines. This, you know, to show where my TP's at, or when I'm going for swing high and swing low setups after the New York Open. It's a good way to track. You know, simple tools. Not like a fucking tidal wave of indicators going all over the screen and shit. I ain't knocking y'all, but I ain't got time for that shit. So, anyway, let's see what happens. Almost there. Boom. TP hit. If I'd have held it, I'd have got some more because I marked up this other liquidity level right here. And so, let's see if it goes down and get it. Almost there. And by this time, greedy people are getting in, just trying to ride this wave of these momentum candles. And what does the market do? Bam, stop their asses out. So that's why you just gotta wait, you know, half the time. And that's why you need to get out, you know. So will it go and get that liquidity? Let's turn right back around. Bam, liquidity's gotten. So going back here, this is where I mark these liquidity levels. Let's see what's going on. Hey, way over here. A lot of people wouldn't think to do this, wouldn't think to look back. So I will scroll all the way over here. I'm still scrolling. Let's see what happens. I feel like I'm driving out of town now. Bam. Alright, so this was that second layer of liquidity. And so anybody got that, you know, props to you. That's why you got to scroll to the left to see what's to the left, especially if price is moving at momentum. You know, so you got to look and just see, because there's something over there that is targeting, and half the damn time it's targeting liquidity. And that's pretty much gasoline for the market. So besides that, you know, that's all the setups I took today. You know, I don't take a lot of setups when I hit NAS, but I usually take a lot of setups when I'm fucking around with Forex pairs. They so, you know, moody and consolidate and procrastinate and all that shit. That's what I fuck with indices. But other than that, I took an L in the beginning. My analysis was right that price is going to come down here. It just didn't go when I expected it to go. It ended up wicking up, tapping the supply above, and then it dropped. So that was the overall move. So thank you guys for tuning in. This was a spur of the moment video I decided to make. This is my friend on Instagram asked, so I got more content coming. You know, a lot of shit y'all probably heard 1,000 times, but you know, you get to hear it in my words. So other than that, I'll see y'all next time.